and welcome to another edition of the Great British Family Quiz. My name's JT and I will be your quiz master for today. Now, before we get started, let's take a quick look at the rules. Now, as with every single week, the quiz will be over 6 rounds in total. There will be a maximum of 10 points available per round. That gives you a total for the week of 60 points. Now, so you don't have to wait right to the end of the quiz to check your answers, I will give you the answers after every 2 rounds, so you can keep a running total of your score. Talking of keeping a running total, if you'd like to print off one of these, there is a link in the description for this video. This is an answer sheet. It is the same answer sheet for every single week. It has 60 slots for you to be able to write down all of your answers, so you can print off a whole batch of them if you want to take multiple quizzes over the weeks. But if you haven't got access to a printer, then just a piece of paper where you can write down your answers will work just as well. Now, this is just a bit of fun, but please, no phones, tablets or computers are allowed. Okay, if you're ready, we'll get into round 1. We'll get you warmed up with some simple general knowledge questions. Question 1. Which Scottish city hosts the world's largest arts festival every August? Question 2. Which Foo Fighters drummer tragically passed away in 2022 while on tour in South Africa? Question 3. Which CBBC show hosted by Richard McCaw and Dominic Wood involved gunge and physical challenges? Question 4. Which British Prime Minister called the Brexit referendum? Question 5. What is the name of the world's first programmable digital computer developed in 1943 at Bletchley Park? Question 6. Which UK rock festival takes place at Donington Park and is known for its heavy metal acts? Question 7. Who sang "Today is gonna be the day that we're gonna throw it back to you"? Question 8. What is the only country in the world that is named after a woman? Question 9. Which 1990s animated character was banned in some countries for promoting vandalism and bad behaviour in schools? And your final one for this round, question 10. In Norse mythology, what is the name of the hall where warriors who die in battle are taken, overseen by Odin? Okay, hopefully everybody's settled in. We've all found our quizzing legs. We're going to dive straight into round 2, the picture round. Question 11. Which American actor played the sword-wielding immortal villain the Kurgan in Highlander, and also the brutal prison captain Byron Hadley in The Shawshank Redemption? Question 12. Which abandoned whaling station on a remote British overseas territory in the South Atlantic is the final resting place for explorer Sir Ernest Shackleton? Question 13. Which Hollywood actor made a cameo in The Office, that's the US version of The Office, as a fictional version of himself in a bootleg action movie called Threat Level Midnight? Question 14. Which best-selling novel by Richard Osmond, set in a retirement village and featuring a group of pensioners solving crimes, is being adapted into a film? Question 15. Which historic British tea clipper, now a museum ship in Greenwich, suffered significant damage in a fire in 2007 during restoration works? Question 16. What colour is the missing ghost from the 1980s video game Pac-Man? Question 17. Where are some of the world's largest surfable waves in Europe regularly found, often reaching over 60 feet in height? Question 18. Which British RAF pilot drove thrust SSC to break the sound barrier and set a land speed record at 763.035 miles per hour? Question 19. What is the official name of MI6, the British agency responsible for overseas intelligence gathering? And your final one for this round. Her father was famous for making love in an elevator. Who is he? Okay, let's mark your answers, questions 1 through 20. So let's start with our general knowledge section. Answer 1. Which Scottish city hosts the world's largest arts festival every August? And that is, of course, Edinburgh, with the Fringe. Answer 2. Which Foo Fighters drummer tragically passed away in 2022 while on tour in South America? And that was Taylor Hawkins. Answer 3. Which CBBC show was hosted by Richard McCourt and Dominic Wood involved gunge and physical challenges? One for the childs of the 90s. That was Dick and Dom in the Bungalow. Answer 4. Which British Prime Minister called the Brexit referendum? And that was David Cameron. Answer 5. What is the name of the world's first programmable digital computer developed in 1943 at Bletchley Park? And that was Colossus. Answer 6. Which UK rock festival takes place at Donington Park and is known for heavy metal acts? And that's the Download Festival. Answer 7. Who sang "Today's Gonna Be the Day They're Gonna Throw It Back to You"? And that was Oasis. Answer number 8. What is the only country in the world that's named after a woman? And that's St. Lucia, named after St. Lucy of Syracuse. Answer number 9. Which 1990s animated character was banned from some countries for promoting vandalism and bad behaviour in schools? And that was, of course, Bart Simpson. And answer 10. In Norse mythology, what is the name of the hall where warriors who die in battle are taken, overseen by Odin? And that's Valhalla. Okay, moving on to the picture round. Answer number 11. Which American actor played the sword-wielding immortal villain the Kurgan in Highlander and the brutal prison captain Byron Hadley in The Shawshank Redemption? And that was Clancy Brown. Question 12. Which abandoned whaling station on a remote British overseas territory in the South Atlantic is the final resting place of explorer Sir Ernest Shackleton? And that's Grytviken in South Georgia. Answer number 13. Which Hollywood actor made a cameo in The Office, that's the US version of The Office, as a fictional version of himself in a bootleg action movie called Threat Level Midnight? And that was Jack Black. Answer 14. Which best-selling novel by Richard Osman set in a retirement village and featuring a group of pensioners solving crimes is being adapted into a film? And that's The Thursday Murder Club. Answer 15. Which historic British tea clipper, now museum ship in Greenwich, suffered significant damage in a fire in 2007 during restoration works? And that was the Cutty Sark. Answer number 16. What colour is the missing ghost from the 1980s Pac-Man game? And I might have tried to just divert you slightly by putting a blue question mark there, but the answer was pink. Answer number 17. Where are some of the world's largest surfable waves in Europe regularly found, often reaching over 60 feet in height? And that's Nazaré in Portugal. Answer 18. Which British RAF pilot drove thrust SSC to break the sound barrier and set a land speed record of 763.035 miles per hour? And that was Andy Green. Answer 19. What is the official name of MI6, the British agency responsible for overseas intelligence gathering? And that's the Secret Intelligence Service, otherwise known as SIS. And finally for this round, answer number 20. Her father was famous for making love in an elevator. That is of course Liv Tyler on the right, and her father Steven Tyler of the band Aerosmith. Okay, round 3 is our wildcard round, and this round changes every single week, a different topic. This week, round 3 is about famous inventors and inventions. Question 21. Which American inventor gave us the practical electric light bulb and phonograph? Question 22. Whose vision for the horseless carriage led to the first gasoline-powered car in 1885? Question 23. Which Italian inventor sent the first successful wireless telegraph message across the Atlantic? Question 24. Which English polymath designed the first mechanical computer, the analytical engine? Question 25. Which inventor revolutionized the printing process in Europe during the 15th century? Question 26. Which software visionary created the Windows operating system and co-founded Microsoft? Question 27. Which physicist developed the first nuclear chain reaction, laying the groundwork for nuclear energy? Question 28. Who created the safety elevator, making skyscrapers practical? Question 29. Which German engineer pioneered the diesel engine? And question 30. Which chemist developed dynamite and later established a world-famous Peace Prize? Okay, round 4 is upon us. Round 4 is called My Name Begins With. So here's an example. He's the Wolverine of Hollywood. First name begins with the letter H, second name begins with the letter J. And it is, of course, Hugh Jackman. So you get the idea. Let's dive in to question 31. She won an Oscar for playing Tammy Faye and starred in Zero Dark 30. Who is this red-haired powerhouse? JC. Question 32. The Irish actress known for Brooklyn, Lady Bird and Little Women. SR. Question 33. He danced his way through Step Up, Magic Mike and beyond. CT. Question 34. La La Land and Barbie star, also known as Kenergy. RG. Question 35. Former WWE wrestler turned highest paid actor in the world. DJ. Question 36. He played Batman and Patrick Bateman, a real American psycho. CB. Question 37. He cried out for Wilson in Castaway and stormed Normandy to save Private Ryan. TH. Question 38. She survived a shark in Shallows and married a Deadpool. BL. Question 39. Known for her killer instinct in Gone Girl and her Barbie charm, she's the queen of memeable monologues. RP. And your final one for this round, question 40. He's king of Atlantis, swings a mean axe, and brought serious hair goals to Game of Thrones. JM. Okay, it's time to take a look at your answers for questions 21 through 40. And we'll start with our wildcard round, Inventors and Inventions. Answer 21. Which American inventor gave us the practical electric light bulb and the phonograph? And that was Thomas Edison. Answer 22. Whose vision for a horseless carriage led to the first gasoline-powered car in 1885? And that was Carl Benz. Answer 23. Which Italian inventor sent the first successful wireless telegraph message across the Atlantic? And I'm probably going to mispronounce his name, Guglielmo Marconi. Answer 24. Which English polymath designed the first mechanical computer, the analytical engine? And that was Charles Babbage. And answer 25. Which inventor revolutionised the printing process in Europe during the 15th century? And that was Johannes Gutenberg. Answer 26. Which software visionary created the Windows operating system and co-founded Microsoft? And that was Bill Gates. Answer 27. Which physicist developed the first nuclear chain reaction, laying the groundwork for nuclear energy? And that was Enrico Fermi. Answer 28. Who created the safety elevator, making skyscrapers practical? And that was Elisha Otis. Answer 29. Which German inventor pioneered the diesel engine? And that was Rudolf Diesel. And your final one for this round, answer 30. Which chemist developed dynamite and later established a world famous peace prize? That was Alfred Nobel, who invented dynamite, and the Nobel Peace Prize is named after. Okay, let's move on with My Name Begins With. Answer 31. She won an Oscar for playing Tammy Faye and starred in Zero Dark 30. Who is this redhead powerhouse? That's Jessica Chastain. Answer 32. The Irish actress known for Brooklyn, Lady Bird and Little Women. And that's Saoirse Ronan. Answer 33. He danced his way through Step Up, Magic Mike and beyond. And that's Channing Tatum. Answer 34. La La Land and Barbie star, also known as Kenergy, is of course Ryan Gosling. And answer 35. Former WWE wrestler turned highest paid actor in the world. And that was Dwayne Johnson, or Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Answer 36. He played Batman and Patrick Bateman, a real American psycho. And that was Christian Bale. Answer 37. Who cried out for Wilson in Castaway and stormed Normandy to save Private Ryan? And that was Tom Hanks. Answer 38. Who survived a shark in the shallows and married a Deadpool? That was Blake Lively. And answer 39. Known for her killer instinct in Gone Girl and her Barbie charm, she's the queen of memeable monologues. And that's Rosamund Pike. And your final one for this round, he's the king of Atlantis, swings a mean axe and brought serious hair goals to Game of Thrones. And that's Jason Momoa. Ready for round 5. Round 5 is our connections round. Now in this round you will see 4 people on the screen and 1 question. The 4 people are all linked in some way and they will give you a hint to the answer to the 5th question. Now you have a full 2 minutes to get all 5 answers, so 4 names and answer the 5th question, and you will earn 1 point for every correct answer. So take your time, there is absolutely no rush with this round. As I say, you get a full 2 minutes. So questions 41 through 44, name these 4 female legends. And question 45, name the event that connects them all. Okay, let's move on to the next ones, and that is answers 46 through 49. Name these 4 gentlemen. And question 50, name the office that connects them all. You now have a full 2 minutes. Okay, hopefully you got all of those. Let's move on to our final round for this quiz, round 6, all or nothing. Now in round 6, you're going to get 10 slightly harder general knowledge questions. You must get the answer to the question right or pass the question. Now you can pass the question by either writing down pass or just not attempting to answer the question. If you write down an incorrect answer, you will lose all of the points for this round. Now, all of your previous points, they're all safe, but you could win or lose it based on this round alone. Now, you can pass as many questions as you like in this round, so again, no need to rush, be careful with your answers. Okay, round 6, if you're ready, let's get going. Question 51. In which movie do we get the line, "He's not the Messiah, he's a very naughty boy"? Question 52. Which US constitutional amendment abolishes slavery? Question 53. What is the chemical symbol for the element with the highest electrical conductivity at room temperature? Question 54. In which dystopian novel by Margaret Atwood is the Republic of Gilead a theocratic regime where women are forced into reproductive servitude? Question 55. Which Austrian physicist is famous for a thought experiment involving a cat that is both alive and dead? Question 56. Which American astronaut performed the first spacewalk for the USA in 1965? Question 57. What is the name of the high-speed train launched in 2019 as part of India's modernisation efforts? Question 58. Which American congresswoman and former bartender became a media and political force after winning a seat in 2018? Question 59. Which activist's mother is Malena Ernman, a Swedish opera singer? And your final one for this round and this quiz, question 60. What is the name of the Soviet space dog who became the first animal to orbit Earth in 1957? That takes us across the line. All that remains for us to do is to go over the answers for questions 41 through 60, and then we'll total up our final answers and see how you did. So answers 41 through 44 were Beyonce, Rihanna, Shakira and Lady Gaga. Answer question 45, name the event that connects them all, and that is the Super Bowl halftime show. Answers 46 through 49, they are Rishi Sunak, Gordon Brown, George Osborne and Alistair Darling. And what office connects them all? And that is they were all Chancellors of the Exchequer. Okay, round 6, our all or nothing round. Answer 51, from which movie do we get the line, "He's not the Messiah, he's a very naughty boy"? And that is, of course, The Life of Brian. Answer 52. Which US constitutional amendment abolishes slavery? And that was the 13th Amendment. Answer 53. What is the chemical symbol for the element with the highest electrical conductivity at room temperature? And that was Ag. That's silver. Answer 54. In which dystopian novel by Margaret Atwood is the Republic of Gilead a theocratic regime where women are forced into reproductive servitude? And that was The Handmaid's Tale. Answer 55. Which Austrian physicist is famous for a thought experiment involving a cat that is both alive and dead? And that was Erwin Schrödinger. Answer 56. Which American astronaut performed the first spacewalk for the USA in 1965? And that was Ed White. Answer 57. What is the name of the high-speed train launched in 2019 as part of India's modernisation efforts? And that is the Vande Bharat Express. Answer 58. Which American congresswoman and former bartender became a media and political force after winning a seat in 2018? And that was Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, otherwise known as AOC. Answer 59. Which activist's mother is Malena Ernman, a Swedish opera singer? And that's Greta Thunberg. And your final answer for this round and this quiz, answer 60, what is the name of the Soviet space dog who became the first animal to orbit Earth in 1957? And that was Laika. So let's total up all your answers and see how you did. Now, if you scored between 0 and 10, then maybe you're new to quizzing. Maybe the questions were a little bit more difficult this week, but congratulations for trying. And hopefully next time you might score a few more. If you scored in the 11 to 25 range, you did a great job. In fact, this is the average score that we see from most people. So if you feel you were a little disheartened, you didn't get quite as many, Congratulations for trying. 25 to 50, you really are now at the upper end of what we would recommend for the easy level quizzes. You should be definitely taking some of our master level quizzes. Now, if you're looking for something a little more challenging, at the end of this video, there will be a couple of recommendations. There will be a playlist to master level quizzes. Now, there aren't very many of them at this point because we only release one every 4 weeks. But if you keep coming back, look for the red border around those quizzes and they will up the difficulty level just a little bit. And if you scored 50 plus, you are a quizzing legend and congratulations to you. So that's it for this week's quiz. I hope you enjoyed it. Please do post your scores in the comments below. Let me know what you thought of the questions. Were they too easy, too hard? This helps me to adjust the quiz to keep it just on the side of challenging. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, a like and subscribe would be really appreciated. And if I'm lucky, I will see you back here in another week for another Great British Family Quiz. Take care. Bye-bye.